Hello, everyone. This is pre-recorded, so just letting everyone know. All right, I'm not live or anything. This will be premiered or just dropped as a video. I haven't decided yet. So, all right. So, Donald Trump was convicted. I was like, whoa, okay. Now we're getting into uncharted waters legally. So, and I was thinking, oh, here comes the corruption machine in Washington. But I looked again at my screen, my TV screen, and I said, oh, this is the New York case. This is the New York indictment. You know, the indictment in New York with that who's the DA? Alvin Bragg or whatever his name is. That idiot. So we have a very unpopular president right now. He's losing in all the polls. And what do they have to do? They have to file indictments against Donald Trump. I'm just being frank here. You know, many people can see it. I could see it. I'm not saying Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong, but damn it. How many former presidents were indicted, let alone convicted of a crime, even a felony? This is 34 counts. When they left office, 0. That's right, 0. So they have the okay. I will give some government officials credit. They did charge Senator Edwards with his corruption. They indicted Menendez in New Jersey for his corruption. But the first time he got indicted, everything went away. You know, it's like one rule for the Democrats and another for Republicans. It's like an unfair system. And everyone that listens to me regularly knows I'm for accountability. If these politicians, they commit corruption, or they steal your money, the taxpayers' money, or they commit fraud, or they do something, I'm all for them getting arrested and getting charged and going to the penitentiary. We even had that former governor of Illinois who tried to sell Obama's Senate seat. He's where he belongs. I heard he got out of jail. Good for him. Hip hip hooray. Was it Bolanovich or whatever? I don't know how to say his name, but well, that governor got what he deserved. But it doesn't seem to be fair and equitable when it comes to the federal government. Now, I'm just going to say that the Clintons are criminals. All right. Let's see here. Bill Clinton got on the stand and said, I did not have sex with that woman. Remember Monica Lewinsky? Does everyone remember Monica Lewinsky and the blue dress? So President Clinton got up on that witness stand and says, "Oh, I didn't have a relationship that was inappropriate with one of my interns, but once they got a hold of the blue dress, all right, and it had DNA on it. They did a DNA test, and kaboom, it had the president's DNA on it." And then we had another person named Linda Tripp who decided to tape record Monica Lewinsky admitting to the affair on tape. We all heard that story before, haven't we? So President Clinton lies in the witness stand. I think it's a very serious offense, don't you? So he gets impeached by the House for good reason. And then he goes to trial in the U.S. Senate. Now he gets acquitted. Now that was a slap in the face. I'll admit that. I'll admit that was a big slap because, hey, he was guilty as charged in that. He was fucking guilty. Now, my problem with President Clinton was not that he got a blowjob in the Oval Office. If anyone listening is saying, but who cares? He got a blowjob. That's at the point here. He sat there and lied to investigators. He lied on the stand. And he thought it was above the law, and in a way he is. Because once he got out of office, after his 8 years was up, guess what happened? He didn't get indicted for perjury. You see my point here? So he wasn't indicted for perjury or sexual harassment or any other crimes committed while in the White House. Now, if I was under investigation for my sex life, all right, let me just tell you like it is. I'd probably just be an asshole and just plead the fifth and let the special prosecutor Ken Starr pick it apart. That's just me. So, but then you had his wife, Hillary Clinton. And guess what she did? Anyone that complained about her husband, she'd use the IRS on them. That's not very nice. And was Hillary Clinton ever charged? Nope. Hillary Clinton was never charged. And when she ran for U.S. Senate in New York, people forget about this, but she was caught on tape committing campaign finance fraud. Now, she was caught organizing a gala. All right. She was caught right-handed. And they were charging over the $2,500 limit to get in. It was like a fundraiser for her campaign, and it was caught on tape. All right, let's just tell it like it is. And the video leaked. The person that the vendor or whatever videotaped the whole thing with a hidden camera, and guess who gets prosecuted? The guy who made the videotape. Damn. I don't know if he got prosecuted or he got persecuted for it. Damn. Do you see the double standard here when it comes to Republicans versus Democrats? So, in my opinion, this whole thing is not fair. So, we see Donald Trump. All right, this case, this indictment in particular, was about hush money. All right, it's about one thing, and it's called hush money. So, did the prosecution prove beyond a reasonable doubt that hush money was paid out? Yeah. But the thing that they didn't show, okay, was did Trump know about it? Did Trump approve of the payments? Now, remember, Trump was running for president, all right? Everyone knew he was a pig. Everyone knew that he cheated on his wife. He cheated on every single woman he's been with, all right? And he gets and the Clinton campaign dug back for that grab me by the pussy clip from, what was it, Access Hollywood or something? So Trump had a meeting supposedly with his excess baggage, and his lawyer and a few others said, okay, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of the problem. And they started paying out hush money payments. Now, I don't think they proved that Trump actually approved of the payments. I could be wrong. But the proof is on the prosecution, all right? And so some of the witnesses that were called, like Trump's former lawyer, they aren't very credible. Let's see. Michael Cohen, he's a crook. All right. It's like, and then you have a few others that pled guilty and took plea bargains. So and then they were ripped apart on cross-examination. So you had 12 jurors in the city of New York, probably looking for a reason to convict. All right? You probably had 12 liberals. This is my opinion, but looking for a reason to convict. So there wasn't violence. So people are going to probably ask, do I support Trump? Am I biased? No. I don't like everything I don't like all his policies. I don't like some of the things he says that comes out of his mouth. Like sometimes I turn on the TV and say, what did he say that for? Why did he do that? I don't like his LGBTQ policy. I'll admit that. And I gave Trump a mixed review during his presidency. I'll give you that. And he was 20 times better than Biden. So if I had a choice between Biden and Trump, guess what? I'm going to vote for Trump. Fuck that. All right. So we got the Clintons that get a double standard, and the statute of limitations on her crimes probably ran out long ago. Hillary's and Bill Clinton's crimes. So it's selective prosecution. So this Alvin Bragg prosecutor from Manhattan decides, oh, I want to sit here and charge Trump with falsifying business records. Interesting. Now I'm going to go through some of the indictments. So Trump was indicted in Florida. All right. For classified documents. So Trump faces 40 criminal charges alleging mishandling of sensitive documents and conspiracy to obstruct the government in retrieving these documents. So the trial was postponed indefinitely. Okay? Now, let me point out something. Trump was president. He had the right to view those documents. All right? Now, conspiracy to obstruct the government in retrieving these documents? I don't know. All right? I haven't heard the facts on this, but I would highly doubt it. Trump could have declassified some of them. I think don't quote me, but I think the president can declassify certain things. So this is just a gray area. So he could have had documents that were declassified. And what I'm reading now is alleging mishandling of sensitive documents. So it's called sensitive. So they're not necessarily classified. So this case is being postponed indefinitely. And guess who she has a few co-defendants on this. So, federal indictment in Washington, D.C. So, Trump's being charged with attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. So, he's being charged with conspiring to defraud the government and disenfranchise voters and corruptly obstructing an official proceeding. Okay. So I'm reading this, all right, today, and I'm reading it right now. And guess who was charged? His lawyers. They had nothing to do with the January 6th incident. They were the ones who represented him. If you agree with the election was stolen narrative or not, Donald Trump challenged the results and hired attorneys. All right, he wanted his day in court. So guess what? The Biden administration decided to charge his lawyers. This is corrupt as hell. So I recognize the two names, Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. Those two were two of Trump's lawyers. So I smell something stinks here. All right. So apparently Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell are charged in Georgia. The Georgia indictment. Oh, so it's Georgia election racketeering prosecution. And there was a big controversy due to the prosecutor, Willis, and the judge. So this is this is getting out of hand, in my opinion. You know, it's and then you got a prosecutor in New York that actually won. I thought that they would just file charges, get some publicity, and you'd have 12 intelligent jurors that could tell the difference between fact and fiction or fantasy, and could read the law of what the burden of proof is in this country, but apparently not. So we even had people during the impeachment trial, at least during the first impeachment trial, who couldn't even understand that Trump didn't commit a crime to get even impeached with. All right. So Trump was getting impeached, all right, for quid pro quo, whatever you want to call that. It's equivalent to bribery, all right. So he was on the phone with the president of Ukraine. All right, he asked for a little favor, look into something for me, and days later, or whatever, Trump decided to release funding to Ukraine. So they view that as bribery. Now, in order to meet the bribery statute, from what I've been reading, you have to have a verbal agreement. You do this for me, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Here's your reward. They couldn't even meet the statute, the federal bribery statute, which requires something promised in return. So when the governor of Illinois, the former governor, Bolanovich or whatever, Rod or whatever his name is, decided to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat to the highest bidder, what he was doing was promising something in return. So what he was doing was bribery. He was putting high he says or putting political office up for auction, which is illegal. Or having meetings with people saying, what can you do for me? What can you do for the governor of Illinois? You can't do that. That was illegal. He got indicted. He went to jail for years. Trump didn't do that, and they impeached him anyway. And he rightfully got acquitted in his Senate trial. And then, get a load of this. Then they impeach him again for the January 6th attack or protests that got out of control, saying that Trump did nothing to stop it. Damn. He got acquitted of that one too. So then when he leaves office, so why didn't this prosecutor of sorts, all right? This is just my critical thinking skills in action. Why did this prosecutor from Manhattan look into this 2016 thing with Stormy Daniels earlier? He could have investigated while he was in office. And if he had something significant, he should have went to Congress and says, okay, I got this, and this. And I'm sure House Democrats would have been jumping at the chance to file impeachment. I'm sure of it. But no. They had to pull this shit because they have an unpopular president. We have an unpopular president that's probably not going to win. So they have to sit there and hand down indictments and after indictment to say, wait a minute, you can't vote for this guy. He's a crook. Well, excuse me, but last I checked, there's evidence that our current president is a crook. So he was working with his son, Hunter. Yeah. People forget about that. The laptop that was left in Delaware, repair shop, left there and not picked up, full of child porn and nudity. That laptop with chats, with emails and everything proving. Yeah, that wasn't allowed. The New York Facebook and Twitter got rid of it. Got rid of the newspaper articles that were reporting on it, the few newspapers that actually did. And then we had a mainstream media that decided, oh, let's just call it fake. There's no way to verify it, right? Let's get our boy Joe, Sleepy Joe, elected. So if you want to call the election stolen by that alone, all right, go right ahead. Go right ahead, because what Trump didn't have in 2020 was proof, enough proof that the whole thing was rigged, and but in a way they're kind of trying to rig the system now. So I think this whole thing is smoke and mirrors. I don't buy it. And if he did do something, it's probably minute and compared to what some of these other politicians do. Look at Jeb Bush when he ran in 2016. Is he being prosecuted for raising $100 million? $100 million in 30 days from big donors. Is he being prosecuted? No, he's not. He's not being prosecuted for that. So Jeb Bush is not being charged with skirting election laws. Actually, I don't think they could charge Jeb Bush because there's a loophole in the law. Because he legally didn't file his paperwork yet. Ouch, right? And perhaps perhaps Trump's staff decided, okay, we're gonna pay out hush money payments. Let's just not tell Trump, and we're gonna write it out off his business expenses. Shh, and do it behind his back. Has anyone considered that? Of course not. Because guess what? I haven't seen so many people in my life hate on just one person. Now, I've seen, all right, people hate Obama. All right, that's normal. All right. Some people are going to go around, they don't like Obama, they don't like his policies, they don't like him personally. You'll get that in politics, all right? You had Bush is a horrible president, Bush Jr. Yeah, he wasn't that popular. At least in his second term, anyway. Yeah, you had a lot of people that didn't like him either. But Trump got the hatred. It's like, whoa. It was like, whoa, it's like the crazy Karens came out. And then you look at some of these photos, these clickbait photos, and you see that you had the so-called Klan supporting them. But then you look very closely at the hands of those so-called Klan members, and you see they have black hands, not white, black. So you have black activists going to a Trump rally or outside it, and they're dressed up in Klan outfits, trying to make it look like that the Ku Klux Klan supports Donald Trump. So, before I go, all right, have these prosecutors ever considered the fact that if Trump won this election and he did go to jail or something, that he can pardon himself. Now this is, well, I'm going to say this. This is first time in history that this ever happened. So if he pardons himself, if it goes that way, goes that far, and if he gets jail time for this, then he'll probably end up in the Supreme Court with verbal arguments, verbal oral arguments, whatever you want to call it, before the Supreme Court, with the one side saying he can't pardon himself, while the Constitution says doesn't give that distinction. So that will be another fight for another day. So they don't get it. And then you have people like Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar sitting there celebrating someone's conviction, you know? So I want to thank everyone for listening, and if there's any more updates on this crapshoot, political crapshoot, I'll pop on and mention it. But I usually don't get into this arena because it's controversial, and you know what I mean. It starts fights, it divides people. But I'm just saying, you don't fire up criminal prosecutions just to win an election. All right? That's just my opinion on it. And the other the other point I wanted to make was a lot of these prosecutions, they're selective. Some people they escape scot-free, and other people they get thrown in the slammer, or they go on trial, and a lot of these trials they end up in mistrials. They end up with hung juries. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you all another time. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.